gonna be a different year. This is not the place for fear. I've got a job to do.
Good afternoon, Rebels. Today is Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. And today we continue to focus on looking at informational texts and working on the mini quizzes before we officially start Unit 2. Let's take a look here at the morning message behind me. It says, "Good morning, Rebels. Today we will continue to focus on informational texts and we will take a short mini quiz to assess where your skills are at regarding informational texts." As I've said in so many videos before, we will begin Unit 2 after Christmas vacation. And Unit 2 is all about analyzing and evaluating informational texts. So before we dive into that topic, I wanted to have some time to just give you guys a few little pre-tests to kind of gauge where your skills are at. So today, the classwork that we did, you can see here, was to finish the informational text mini quiz part 2. Let's look at the week's agenda. Here it is. You can see on Monday, we did part 1, which was called Pit Ponies, which was a poem with 5 questions. Today, we're working on part 2, which you can see is titled Ring of Horses. That's the title of the passage. Pit Ponies is a poem all about horses that work in a mine. And today's passage is all about the history of the carousel and where merry-go-rounds came from. Tomorrow will be a support day like always, so if you're struggling on any of these assignments or if you have any questions, please come on tomorrow. I will be here during normal class time from 10:10 to 11:10 to support you guys in any way that you need. On Thursday, we will be completing the third part, which is the sea turtle's built-in compass. Now, the other thing that we're going to be doing on Thursday is we will go over the responses from Monday and Tuesday. Today, I noticed that there were about 43 students who completed the first part, which left a large group of students who still needed to complete that. So you will have the rest of today and tomorrow to do those, as well as the Ring of Horses. Now, these passages aren't long. These actually are passages taken right from previous year's state tests, where normally you would sit down and read anywhere between 4 to 6 passages in one sitting for your test. And here, I'm just asking you guys to do 1 a day. So it's definitely not an overwhelming amount of work. So that's why we will be going over it on Thursday. But that means that after Thursday, I will no longer be accepting any late work once I go over it and we make a video about the answers. So make sure you get those into me before Thursday. Okay, and then on Thursday, we will do the sea turtle's built-in compass. And then on Friday, you can see this week where it's listed as a Christmas celebration with our B students. Normally, this would be our day to hold our Christmas party with the students who come to school on Thursday and Friday. I'll talk to you guys more about that later in the week, but my plan now is to go over the Sea Turtles built-in compass on Friday, and then I've got some special Christmas activities that you guys can do. So if I scroll through the blog here, I can scroll right past our interactive notebook table of contents. Once again, we won't need that. We're going to dive into the notebook again right after Christmas when we start Unit 2. All right, and then here are the 3 parts to the mini quiz. And once again, we have the directions and tips to do our best. So the directions read this. Go to the Google Classroom and open the quiz under the Classwork tab. Read the passage and answer the multiple choice questions that follow. And here are the tips to do your best. Just like in yesterday's video, I won't take the time to dive deep into these, but I will go ahead and read them to you. Make sure that you read closely and that you reread. Make sure that you guys are working carefully. There is no rush to this, so take your time. Before you submit it, be sure to check over your answers. So go back and make sure that you've chosen the right answer, or the one that you think is the correct answer. Make sure that all questions are answered. go back into the text. This is a big one. Don't just read the passage once. Today in class we previewed all of the questions first. So we took a good 10 to 15 minutes to really look at the questions, read them, read the answer choices. Then when the students go to read the actual passage, their brain is already primed and they already kind of know what they're looking for in the passage. Highlighting evidence, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, it is challenging to do that on the computer. Normally we would do this with paper and pencil right in front of us on our desk, so you'd have your highlighters out and you'd be highlighting anything that's important in the passage. I know that that's challenging to do at home on the computer. And preview the questions. So while I'm not going to preview the questions here in the video, I'm just going to give you guys the directions in the assignment. Take the time to read the questions first. It can be very helpful. So here is our Google Classroom. You guys know now where to find the assignments. It's under the Classworks tab. You go right on down. Here is part 2 and here is part 1. If you've not already done part 1, make sure you go back and do that. Thursday is the deadline. Anything after Thursday morning, I will not accept. And right here is part 2, Pit Ponies. You go ahead, open that up, and you can open up the passage. Okay. Yesterday's was a poem. Today's is an article. And as I said, it's titled The Ring of Horses. And it's about the history of the merry-go-round. It's about the history of the carousel. So it's a really interesting read for one. But it's also very informative. One thing that I pointed out to the students today is these numbers on the side. Okay? Lots of these questions, let me scroll down to one of the questions here for you guys. Like question number 3. Here it says, based on the entire article, the word lavishly in line 31 shows that the carousels were blank. So here it's referring a line. So I've got to go back into the passage and I need to go look at line 31. I need to look at the lines around it so I can try to decipher what this word lavishly means. Here's another example of a question which references the line numbers. How did the details about the Great Depression in lines 40 through 43 contribute to the development of the article? So here's one of those examples where now I need to scroll back up and I need to look for lines 40 through 43. And you can see here the numbers on the side are there to help you. I can see line 40. Now I don't see line 43. Alright, but just like a thermometer or a scale doesn't have every number on it, neither does the passage. It's numbered every 5th line. So here's line 35 and here's line 40. So you know in between it you've got lines 36, 37, 38, and 39. So with that last question as my example, lines 40 through 43 are right here. Now, I can just read those lines, but I'm also going to want to read the lines above and below those. I'm going to want to think about the entire passage and then answer the question about how do those lines contribute to the overall passage. So that is your assignment for today. Today is all about reading The Ring of Horses and answering those 5 questions. All right, tomorrow's Wednesday. It will be a support day, so I will be here to answer any questions that you guys have. And on Thursday, we will be going over these answers, and I will be introducing you guys to a new passage then. So until then, have a great day. Enjoy. I'll see you guys all on Thursday. Bye.